Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a channeled Twin Flame collective message. And then I will jump in with the cards. And so I got a major download yesterday during the 6/6 portal. And a number that kept screaming at me loud and clear was 9669. And so 96 is the inverted number of the coming together. It is the coming apart of the 69. And so first we kind of got to come apart in order to kind of come back together. And so I do feel a lot of the energies recently have been reversing the scales, reversing the karma. And I do feel the feminine really has left a mark on the divine masculine's heart and how it has affected him throughout this entire process. And so I do feel we're at a very extremely important, pivotal moment when it comes to this ascension mission for the twins. And I do feel we are so close to achieving that yin-yang balance, the union of the masculine and the feminine principles, so we can come back together in connection with the two opposites, right? With the negative and the positive polarity. And so I do feel the feminine is getting very grounded, very rooted in this distinguished peacefulness, is what I feel. And so now the masculine kind of has to retrace his steps in order to find that clarity of belief, that clarity of thought. And so a lot of the masculines have compromised their personal morals and ethics, and they have been on the defense for quite some time on the journey. And so without any communication, without communicating to the feminine, they're never going to be able to fulfill their destiny or their karmic mission. I see kitties all up on my desk again today. And so I do feel the 96 is indicating the angels are kind of helping the masculine open up. I do feel there's a lot of karma playing out right now. And I do feel the karma that's playing out is very complicated. Because of the masculine's inability to conduct a full-fledged conversation and have that heart-to-heart communication with the feminine. And so I do feel there's a lot of social negativity surrounding the masculine collective at this time. And all of this negativity and this negative energy will find its way to kind of be expressed involving outward connections through aggression. I do feel with Venus and Leo, this is involving a lot of aggression in the masculine's life. It's almost this energy of the masculines being unable to accept that they made a mistake, unable to admit that they made a mistake. And so I do feel they're dealing with a certain person, whether it's a karmic feminine, a mother, a sister, a girlfriend, a wife, that are really pressing the masculine, trying to trigger fights. I feel the masculine is needing to defend himself. It just felt like the masculine is on like this battlefield without a knife, without a sword, without any defenses, because he's not communicating properly. And so I do feel right now there's a lot of arguments playing out in and around the masculine's energy field. There's a lot of negative manifestations, I feel, because the masculine can just not find those words. And I do feel he's very lost, ultimately very lost in the dark. And I do feel a lot of the masculines have either become very weak or you know, they're just so agreeing in everything just to try and keep the peace, basically in this martyrdom energy. And I do feel eventually this is going to lead to a lot of aggressive behaviors because I do feel the masculine at this point in time on the journey is at an obvious disadvantage to where the feminine is at. And so traditionally, the twins did agree to come here to harness these higher cosmic principles. And that does mean harnessing our leadership qualities and finding our determination to fully step into our destiny, our fated karmic pathway, which is that North Node. And so what I want to say is, in order to step into our destiny, these masculines cannot remain in the depths of the shadows. It's very much important that the divine masculines take on the burden of leadership that they've refused to do, and kind of like the feminines kind of had to take on that burden all on her own. And so the Libra energy was very strong last night for me when it comes to fairness and equality. And so a lot of the masculines have been very irrational. And now they're on kind of the reverse side of the journey. The feminines are kind of persevering. And we've persevered through the masculine's cruelty, his rigidity, his lack of stepping it up. And now there's all of this irrationality, I feel, surrounding the divine masculine as the reversal of the scales kind of takes place. When I think of number 9, numerologically, 9 is the completion of a cycle. There's a lot of unlimited possibilities with the number 9 in all areas of our life. 9s are an indication of incredibly talented, gifted people. And so I do feel the masculines need to realize themselves first in order to activate that energetic auric field so they can achieve these new ascension heights with the divine feminine. And so as the feminine kind of grounds in this distinguished leadership quality, and I do feel this is triggering a lot of analytical processing for the masculine. And so it's like they're on the downside of the 9 is what it feels like. And so when it does come to the number 9, when I do my readings for my clients, I always refer to the number 9 as almost like the Mother Teresa, right? It's the highest spiritual authority that we can reach before we get to the master numbers. But on the flip side, 9s, if they're in their lower ego or in a karmic cycle, they can appear to be superior to others, that they feel superior to others and look down on others and think that they're better than other people, which is not the case. Nobody really is better than anybody. And so I feel the masculine is now kind of having to retrace his steps in this downward spiral, in this energy of like this double-edged sword. This double-edged energy is kind of playing out. And so the masculines are going to have to find their determination. I do feel the ancestors, the guardian angels are surrounding the masculine, but he's going to have to go into this encrypted cosmic knowledge to understand the value. And so, you know, if we are rooted in high moral principles and ethics, and we course correct with these new higher divine views and principles, then we really can manifest something very important and something very valuable for a legacy for the future. And so I do feel the masculines are fully pushing the masculine into his karmic direction in order to create movement. And I do feel it's very challenging. It's very uncomfortable. But the angels are always there. Our ancestors are always there on the other side, ready to provide us any possible assistance that we need. But we do need to be willing to ask. And so I do feel a lot of divine intervention has been playing out since the full moon. As the feminine kind of is fully endowed with these higher principles, and the masculine has only been focusing on, you know, satisfying his lustful desires, his lustful needs, the angels do kind of have to step in and reorient the masculine to point him towards his true North Star. And so I do feel there's this literal force taking place, breaking into the masculine's life to kind of show him the negative personal well-being that he's attained due to his materialistic views and principles. And I feel he's like resting on like this very fragile straw. It's almost like the straw that breaks the camel's back hasn't quite broken. And it really is time for the masculine to really consider his views of the world, his views of the feminine, his views of relationships. And so the masculine can no longer keep sitting and resting on his laurels is what I'm feeling. And so I feel there's like this warning sign that's been flashing in the masculine's life right now saying, hey, you did not pay enough attention to the pathway of spiritual development for yourself. And I think a lot of the masculines have had a lot given to them. They've earned a lot in that karmic cycle. And now it kind of has to be taken away in order for them to ascend and to work towards the mission with the divine feminine. And so I do feel there's this inner world that is fighting with the masculine right now. And I do feel all of the echoes of the past are coming back, demanding the masculine bring this to attention in his physical world. I think the time really has come for the twins to both understand, right? I do feel a lot of the masculines are very much bored with the life that they have been living. And in order for them to go over to the other side of this spiritual development with the divine feminine, they're going to have to release this never-ending onslaught of the path that is not for growth and development. And so the time really is coming for the rebirth of these soul connections. And I do feel there's a lot of sensitive essence in the collective. There's a lot of sensitivity going on, especially with Saturn in the pre-shadow retrograde period, and Saturn's going retrograde in Pisces. And so Spirit really is working hard to stop the evil, to stop the evil opportunities from multiplying in the masculine's life. And I do feel like he chose the devil, and the devil really doesn't support us, right? And so the masculine really does have to learn how to forgive the path he chose, to forgive himself, or the devil energy is going to keep trying to manifest in this essence of, hey, I'm everything you've asked for. And then we're going to be spending all of our precious energy in this wasted karmic cycle. And so I do feel the masculine is in this energy of possibly losing everything that they love in order for God to be made manifest towards the masculine. A lot of these masculines, I feel, are non-believers, almost borderline atheists. And so whatever seeds have been sown in the body of the spirit of the devil in the masculine is going to have to be almost like exorcised, or in exorcism almost. And so many of the masculines are afraid, right, this life of death. And so without this moment of self-realization, the very essence of what was promised to them could be lost. And that was the promise of heaven on earth, right? And so in addition to all of these energies, I do feel that karmic path has really destroyed the pure essence of the masculine. And that's been with the help of all of the lies, all of the deceit. And so there's this rebirth, or this reversal going on as to how we approach the energy of death, knowing that everything we've gone through on this life will lead us towards a teaching path. But we also have to destroy the evil within us from within in order to embrace this higher connection, this higher information field that I feel has been activated. And so when we are in our highest essence, it's not like we're out there searching for idols, and we're not out there to be an idol for anybody. We're here to create the Ark of the Covenant, right? We're here to create the Ark of the Covenant, the whole entity of the energy of oneness. And so we have come here prepared with this knowledge and the laws of the cosmic world. And now we're here to kind of master this energy by redirecting the collective in such a way that we've received these answers to all of these questions from the universe. And so when our body and our aura field amplifies, and we remain in that purity of our thoughts and the purity of these energies, we just are in a constant state of renewal and regeneration. And so I do feel at the soul level, the feminine soul is working to broadcast this around the masculine's life. And so we need to remember we are always connected through our spiritual bodies. And this is not a simple connection by any way, shape, or form. And so a lot of the twins did come here to materialize the new age of Aquarius, to materialize these new earth frequencies. And so we kind of have to sift through all of the time and the space and the darker entities so we can go through this development both independently and then together. And so usually the twins each choose their own direction for this development path. And this is when we go into separation. And at the same time, while each entity has its own path of development on its own in this world, the development is to bring us back together. And so I do feel everything is already ready for the reunion. What I want to say, Divine Feminine, is you did it all, and you did it very freely, is what I want to say. The feminine freely surrenders to the process, is how this usually plays out. And so all of the talents that we've carried over from our previous incarnations are meant to be a part of our profession this life that will suit us right best for our development journey. Whatever energy work that you're here to ask to do, it is to work off and to pay off karmic debt from past life timelines. And so I do feel we're entering the union of spirit and matter. And so a lot of us have this very beautiful, undeniable, unconditional 5D and above union with the counterpart. And yet it seems it can never be made manifest in the physical matter, in the physical world. But I do feel there's a lot of invisible threads of energy right now guiding us towards one another. And so I feel the masculines are starting to access this cosmic wave of truth. I feel there's been a new wave of understanding when it comes to this esoteric knowledge, this incomprehensible knowledge of the universe that is so very hard to put into words. And so I do feel the masculines having a really hard time right now when it comes to releasing that attachment to the home life that he's built, the false family energy that he's been connected with. In that karmic partnership, and he's afraid to release that attachment for this collective creation with the feminine of something new. And so it is the energy right now, I feel, playing out that the masculine is reaping the fire of everything inside of him. It's like rebirth by fire, and I feel he's been shrunken right down to rock bottom with whatever perception of this crisis or event that has been playing out. And so a lot of fear is coming up. I do feel the fear is almost mind crippling somehow right now for the masculine, is what it feels like. And so the crippling mind fear is to penetrate the masculine, and so he can understand where he lived wrong and where he's created his own suffering. And so I feel the masculine right now is kind of sitting in this parallel space. And he's sitting in this energy of needing to be the observer of this situation that's been created in his reality. And so the approach he takes will determine what options are going to be on the table moving forward after this crisis or this event that's playing out as part of this expansion for his own consciousness within the world. And so I do feel the masculines have been shown what will happen if they continue on this karmic journey along this negative path. And I do feel there's a big warning when it comes to this lack of realization. And so they do fully understand that everything does need to be corrected if they want to pass this like spiritual exam and step into the new cycle. And so I feel this huge reconsideration. There is this energy interchange going on right now with one another in the collective. And so there's this strong charge of devotion, I feel, being activated in the masculine when it comes to his public service mission, and to be that support for those who need any help, like the feminine has. And so I feel like there's been like this crowning taking place, or this commemoration as we reach this completion stage, is what it's been feeling like. And so I do feel finances are a big worry right now in the masculine. Maybe he might have to, pack up and find an apartment, move to an apartment, sell a house, something of the sorts. But I do feel right now the feminine is reinforcing this sense of openness, honesty, and empathy. And the masculine is being shown that mirror right now. And so we are stronger together. I also feel the past is haunting the masculine when it comes to the lack of acceptance of this connection, knowing that the feminine is his true home on the heart. And so he needs to accept this, and he needs to accept the changes in this physical reality. There are imminent changes coming, especially related to homes, where people live, right? And so the mission for the twins is to focus on family, though. And so I do feel the masculine is being forced to switch places. It could be a job loss. It could be a home loss. It could be a role within a family. Because I do feel he's been asked to take on the new assignment with the divine feminine and to stop returning to the old karmic cycle time and time again. And so I do feel the energies could go one of two ways right now. It could either signify that we are coming towards a reunion, or it could signify that there is a parting or a separation stage beginning, depending on where you're at on the journey. But I do think a lot of us have been asking what is the possibility that the twin flame could reappear. And I do feel with Saturn going retrograde in Pisces, we also have Neptune going retrograde in Pisces. At some point in time in the near future during these retrogrades, I do feel there will be an important fated meeting or conversation that will allow this reunited energy to come forward. But I feel, we can't just keep crossing our fingers and hoping for things to change, and at the same time avoiding the twin flame split, right? We do have to go into separation, especially when all the karmic gunk comes in. And that's the hardest part, right? Is the loss of the connection. We can never lose this connection. And so there are some twins going into an inevitable separation, which is needed for the growth of these connections, while there are others that are coming into an important reunion energy. And so we can't avoid the twin flame split. We have to do the coming apart to come back together. And so there may be a twin flame split on the horizon if you've been in a toxic cycle going back and forth with the counterpart and you've not done the ascension integration work. So however you interpret the energies right now is going to be up to you, but I do feel there's a major collective warning for the twins that we are entering a significant period of development on the horizon, and this will affect all of our romantic relationships and these romantic cycles. So I grabbed 3 decks that I've been trying to jump on and channel this message since I woke up yesterday morning, but the energy is very stuck. It's very lethargic. I'm feeling so disconnected from the journey, from the counterpart. It's just this huge lack of motivation, and I do think that is due to the pre-shadow retrograde of Saturn going in Pisces. I do feel it's going to be a lot of internal transformation taking place, especially with wherever Pisces falls. So I picked the 4 Agreements deck today because a lot of the twins are here to harness these higher agreements. I'm sorry, I'm really having a hard time with my words. So we're here to be impeccable with our words, right? There are 4 agreements: to be impeccable with your word, to always do your best, to not take anything personally, and do not make assumptions, right? So on the top of the deck, we get release the need to be right. And that's a big block for the masculines. When they believe something, they assume they're right. And this really has destroyed this relationship with the feminine, all to defend a false position that they've been sitting in. And so I do feel the masculine needs to learn to let go of the need to defend his ego. Ooh, bottom of the deck. Enjoy heaven on earth. And so this is about the impeccability of the word can lead to personal freedom and success and abundance. We can attain the kingdom of heaven from this one agreement, and that is being impeccable with our words, right? So we're going to see the main energies that need to come through for the divine masculine. Embrace your freedom, surrender, and let go of the past. So there's the birds of the feather flock together. And so the masculine will gain a huge amount of freedom when he chooses to take nothing personally, right? I do feel no spell can affect him. A lot of the karmics put a lustful spell on the masculine. And no matter how strong that spell may be, the karmic can no longer affect them regardless of that tempting spell. And if the masculine chooses to live without fear and they choose love, they will be happy with their life and the path that they've chosen. And so Surrender and let go of the past. Always do your best. So whatever life takes away from you, you need to let it go, right? So I do feel something is being taken from the masculine, and this is part of the surrendering journey for them to let go of the past. And sometimes we have to lose it all so we can fully allow ourselves to be fully alive in the moment, and that does require letting go of the material world, letting go of the past. And so when we let go of the past, then we can enjoy the dream that is trying to be made manifest right now. The bottom of the deck, it kind of looks like a lighthouse. Don't make assumptions. And there's that feminine with the lighthouse, I feel. Communicate with clarity. It's like the feminine's beams are on high. The masculine is having a hard time looking at the feminine clearly because of the bright light. And so communication is what is needed. Clear communication. And, you know, clear communication could have allowed us to avoid this very big misunderstanding and the sadness and the drama that was caused during separation. If we would learn as human beings to all communicate with impeccability with our word, then all of our relationships will definitely change for the better. There would be no more war. There would be no more violence. There would be no more abuse. And there would be no more understandings. And so that's kind of where the masculine is at. Oh, look at that top of the deck. Replace fear with love. And so the human mind, right, it's fertile ground. This is where the seeds are planted. This is where the seeds will continually be planted, is in the subconscious mind. And it is when we bring the unconscious to the conscious light that we are being asked to once again be impeccable with our words. Our mind is not fertile ground if we're coming from a place of fear. If our mind is not clear and free of fear, then we cannot be coming from a place of love. So let's dig into the divine feminine's energy and see what energies need to come through on the feminine side today. I know the energy is feeling very lethargic, but I know my mind and my heart, they are in check. So it's just a matter of finding the energy, right, to get things done. Okay, I love what's coming out for the feminine. Always do your best. We get 2 out for the feminine. Always do your best. And so this is about taking action on your ideas. I know a lot of new ideas. And for me, with all of these retrograde energies, I'm really buckling down and getting some online courses ready to be presented to all of you to possibly join me on some development course journeys. Ask for what you want. So this is also hard, right? As women who have gone through trauma, we don't like to ask for what we want because usually we never get what we want, what we need or what we want. And so the feminine is finding that courage to ask for what we want, to ask for what we need from others. And everyone has a right to tell us yes or no, right? That's not up to us to decide. But we always have the right to ask. And if we don't ask, divine feminine, the answer will always be no. And so last week I did drive past some Pickard construction trucks. And I felt compelled a few hours later to reach out to the counterpart on Snap. And I just said, hey, seen the work truck today. I just wanted to reach out and wish you well. And it was coming from a place of impeccable word. It was genuine. I didn't expect communication back. It's been years. I really didn't expect communication back. I'm surprised he even unblocked me on Snapchat. And I gave it several days and no reply. And so I did choose to let this go. I asked, you know, I set that intention. I opened up the doorway one last time and crickets, right? No communication, no communication. And that's okay, because if he's still with the karmic, I don't want no third party. I will never do third party again. And so we have a right to ask for what we want. And we also have a right to say yes or no, divine feminine. And so right now I feel the feminine is being asked to just take action on your ideas, your mission work. I think a lot of great ideas are coming in very quickly with the Gemini energy for the feminine. And so we got to take action with these ideas, or we can't really manifest anything, right? We can have all kinds of ideas, but if we don't take that appropriate action, nothing will be made manifest. No results, no reward. And so right now the feminine is being asked to focus on becoming that white witch, which is basically the high priestess. And so we have all of this magic possessed inside of us, and spells are words. And so we can cast spells all the time, and we do with our opinions, with our words. We can put a spell on someone with our words, or we can release somebody with our words. And so I do feel the feminine has gone through a huge release. Bottom of the deck, your truth is personal to you. Don't take anything personal. And so what was true for us on the journey might not be true for the counterpart. And so we have our own opinions of the twin flame journey, and no two journeys are the same. We all have our own point of views that we've reflected upon when it comes to this higher cosmic agreement and soul contract. And they're all personal to us on our soul journey. And it's nobody's truth but yours. So don't be swayed from your truth. It's a big lesson, I feel, for the twins this life to say what we mean what we say, and to avoid using the spoken word, the thoughts to speak against ourselves or to gossip about others. We're not here to gossip about others. And so there's a lot of power in the words that we use and the direction that we take. And the twins are here to be fully rooted in truth and love. So I picked out the unicorn deck. I've only used this like once, I think. I've got like 150 decks, and I have close to 150 decks. I get them, I shuffle them. I don't use them often, but I've been really drawn to the higher cosmic energies lately. So the Stargate of Lyra, so Lyrian starseed energy, and this is where we expand our causal chakra, and we enter into the unicorn kingdom, and then we get the enter the magic, which is the 6 cards. So 6 and 4 is 10, cyclical energy. 6 to me is the lovers, right? 4 is foundations. And so in order for you to fully embrace the magical energy in and around you, and from this connection, divine feminine, it does require living in the now moment. And if we're not living in the now moment, we're not really seizing the day at all. And so we're in a major portal right now, needing to focus on the light and listening for the higher messages is what I feel coming through. So we'll get some of these unicorn cards on the masculine side. Unicorn portal, 38 breaking down to an 11, and then 14 below that, stand in your power. This is about being passionate about our visions. We're here to bring about positive change. And so what relationships need to be uncorded in the false connections? It's another 4 card. Uncord relationships, let go. Forgiveness is freedom. And that's where I feel I've kind of been at. And I've been in this energy too, decluttering my life. I've been decluttering the inside, the outside. I've been doing a lot of yard work to ground the ascension codes coming in. So get grounded is a big message. And being grounded too is just being fully in the present moment. I know a lot of people like, get grounded. There's so many different ways that you can ground the energies. So we're going to see what unicorn messages need to come through for the Divine Masculine Collective, personal unicorn. I do feel they look at the feminine as their own personal unicorn. They got 2 out. And then the accessing of the gifts. So there's magician energy. They do look at you as their personal muse, divine feminine. You are the masculine's personal unicorn. And so I do feel as you release any attachment, this triggers a shift because your spirit is pure like a dove. And now the masculine is bathing in this pure love because you've stayed open to the magic, right? And I do feel an activation of some spiritual gifts. There's the Ankh symbol. So Celtic culture. The blue rose, a violin. So I feel like they're crying over you. But I feel they've opened up the treasure chest of the heart. So they can accept who they truly are. And they can embrace this freedom of truth. So the masculines really are being pushed to communicate honestly. Kind of look, it looks like a teacher. It looks like, a male teacher teaching the younger generation. holding that flame. So I want to reference the Encanto movie again. They are being asked to be who they truly are. And so 1, 10, and 12. So 1, 1, 1, and then 2. They're definitely at a crossroads here. So, oh, Divine Feminine, we get the Enter the Magic. Really wanted to jump out of my hand. So that's what you're being asked to do, the 6. So like the 6 of Swords, I feel you've got so much protection around you. Keep moving forward, living in the now, seizing the moment, and trusting that the divine has kind of got your back. Ascension flames. You know what this connection means to you. 27, breaking down to a 9. You're closing out all of these cycles. It's like you're at the completion. There's the 9. You're like the Mother Teresa, Divine Feminine. And so so I do feel emerging is taking place. I do feel the recognition of the ascension journey that we're on, and we are flames for this ascension mission. So a lot of the feminines, I know for me, I went through the merging process 4 years ago. It's been a long roller coaster ride for the last 4 years. Grounding the merging of the flame energy and the light, you know, integrating all of the keys and the codes that were activated in the higher DNA structure. And so I do feel as the feminine lives in the now moment, it triggers the merging on the masculine side. So Divine Feminine, keep standing in your power, keep standing in that truth. Keep holding that light of truth. Keep living life passionately. Keep bringing those ideas and those visions forward, and keep bringing about this positive change, because you are making a difference. And there we got the pool of Christ light. So if you don't follow me over on my business page on Facebook, go and check it out. Tenacious Taurus, Twin Flame Tarot, Spiritual Guidance, I believe is what the business page is called on Facebook. I did the page back in 2019, a couple years before I launched YouTube, but we are being saturated with all of these Christ codes. I made a big post about Christ consciousness this morning over there. And so I do feel that full moon brought in. Sag is Jupiter ruled. It is expansion. It is the light. And so I do feel a heart awakening. And we are here to spread this unconditional love to the collective. We are here to be those lights, those beacons. We are here to be that inspiration and that light for others. We are here to light the way back home to source. And so I do feel a lot of energies have recently been invoked within the collective, so we can transmute everything that is not love. So let's jump in and we'll pull some tarot. Well, we get the Knight of Swords in reversed and the Page of Pentacles. What I feel is an unexpected shift in communication. I feel unexpected communication. The Knight of Swords in reversed is like, wow, this is like double the fun, double the speed. I do feel decisiveness here, focus, driven decisiveness. The masculine has definitely gone through some type of upheaval or event that is pushing him to take action with great speed. So I do feel there's a lot of challenges right now. I think emotions are on overdrive, unexpected, sudden shakeups, revelations that are leading to a new beginning, right? The Page is a clean slate. And this is also about, you know, going back to school, learning something new. It's really time to get to work. It's really time to embrace this higher study, this higher learning. And so I do feel there's a new opportunity being presented, and this is stemming around love and career playing out. So the masculine knows he's got to come in with that offer. So let's see what needs to come through for the masculine in these energies. Oh, 6 of Cups. They're deep in their feelings. I do feel the floodgates kind of got opened on the weekend. The Magician, the 6 Cups, and they're both upright. So there is a magical energy alive in the masculine's auric field at the moment. And I do feel he is deep within some inner child remembrance, healing his inner child, and there's that reconciliation. And so you see the 5 Cups on the ground and the Ace of Cups. The feminine is the little girl is holding the Ace of Cups. And so it was the feminine that held the love all of this time, while the masculine had to go through transmuting the regret, the guilt, the shame of the missed opportunity. And here we see the temperance angel behind the twins. I'm going to call them the twins. And so another energy of 6, which is reunion, journey to balance and harmony. I feel there's a lot of romanticizing of the past with the feminine, a lot of past life romanticizing with the Neptune and Pisces energy. I do feel the masculine is planning to return. He has everything he needs to manifest success, but he's got to believe in himself. And there's the Virgo Gemini energy. Looking on the bottom of the deck. Oh, he's coming in for that missed opportunity. Yeah, he is. And he's coming in unexpectedly, fast. I do feel he's going through a significant life transformation at this time. He's gone through a significant karmic experience that has forced these changes to be activated and made. Unexpected revelations, I feel. Powerful revelations came in with that last full moon. That is breaking the masculine free from these old belief systems. And he is moving on from that, from the karmic feminine energy that has been a block for these dreams coming true. So no more delay. She can no longer delay. She can no longer block. There is going to be movement forward. Positive change in the masculine's life is coming for this new beginning. So he's coming in. There could be a windfall of abundance. And I was always shown that the rainbow blessings come when the twins come into union. We're here to offer that wise counsel to bring this good fortune forward for everybody in the collective. On the feminine side, the King of Coins just kind of flipped out of the deck. And so I do feel you've integrated your inner masculine and you're very accomplished right now in your work, in your charity work. I feel you're very magnetically, charismatically attractive right now at the moment. You're very grounded. I feel you're grounded in your masculine energy and you're focused on financial security and prosperity. And you're not taking shit from anybody, Divine Feminine. Look at, well, that's all we got out on your energy. So you're grounded. You are grounded in your reality. You are connected. You see things clearly. Your boundaries are firm in place. I do feel you're not accepting anything less than a supportive spouse or a parent. You will not accept the masculine back if he has not done the work to be a good person. And I do feel, I know a lot of us, we can now find the humor in the situation, but going through that judgment, that awakening was definitely difficult. And so the feminine's already gone through the releasing of the karmic situations and people that weren't serving her. And now that we're on the other side, we can kind of laugh and see the humor in the breakdown, right? Right now, I feel that the feminine's really focused on career. She's not focused on a relationship. She's focused on truth, integrity, honesty, and building a solid foundation. And on the bottom of the deck, it's like, it really took us, you know, that betrayal of the masculine not valuing us, that really took us to our knees, right? And so I also feel the feminine is no longer investing her time or her energy in that unhealthy situation. You're focused on abundance. You're focused on prosperity. You know, you see clearly the betrayal. You know the masculine's been dealing with somebody that really doesn't know her worth and her value. And so I do feel you've released the burden. It's not your burden to carry. You've kind of made peace with the past and you're ready to walk through the doorway of a new experience. You're ready for love. You're ready for love. And so whether the divine masculine returns or not, there is a beautiful romantic relationship being made manifest in the feminine's life. And this person is coming in and they will do this motivational, inspirational work with you. They're ready to step up and take a leadership role with you. It could be an Aries, Leo, Sag. It doesn't have to be. But somebody clearly sees you in the spotlight and they want to step into the spotlight with you. And so I do feel you're ready. You're ready for this new emotional experience. Your cup is full. You are absolutely ready for a life partner, a new home. And I do feel somebody is coming in. It may be the masculine because he's leaving behind what was not his. But I feel like this is where the feminine's been at is, hey, you know, there's been no apology. There's been no acknowledgement of the third party betrayal. And I do feel there's that unfounded fear when it comes to this realignment taking place. And I do feel the masculine's been watching you, kind of lurking around, stalking your social media, watching you in silent, preparing to come in to right this past injustice. But once again, there's like no clear, concise communication. And this is a very heavy burden. And I feel it's causing all kinds of internal conflicts for the divine masculine at this time. So let's get some guidance from the angels. I was drawn to this Doreen Virtue deck. Trustworthy guidance from the angels. Trustworthy guidance from the angels. Ask for and be open to receiving. So we'll get some closing angel guidance messages for the twins. We'll see what guidance they have for us when it comes to working through these energies. Messages for the twins. Shower of abundance just flipped right in on the Queen of Swords. So you might be coming into abundance of some sort. Entrepreneur here. Entrepreneur. Well, divine feminine, I gotta say, this is clearly a message for you. You know, your self-employment and with your disposition and your intentions, you've worked really hard for yourself. You've worked hard to bring a better life forward for yourself. You've followed your intuition. You've followed that divine guidance. And you've worked well with all of the teammates that the guides have brought forward throughout your transmutation journey. And I do feel because you've remained loyal to your mission, the angels have remained loyal by your side, and they are ensuring success in all ways. And this could mean a windfall or shower of abundance. And so I do feel the feminine too. We've worked on healing our financial situation. I know for me as a single mom, things can get pretty tricky financially. But I do feel because we've taken creative accountability and acceptance of our journey, abundance is coming. So as we work together with spirit, our situation will heal. And so on the bottom of the deck, we're at a pivot point when it comes to being honest with ourselves. I feel the masculine is being asked to look deep within his heart. And that is where he knows the truth of the matter, right? It's always in the heart. It's safe to admit the truth. It's safe to admit the truth to yourself, to your counterpart. It's hard to face the truth because when we see the truth, we can't unsee it. And then we have to push through making all of these necessary changes that we've been guided to make. And so the masculine is leaning on the angels for courage at this time and for strength so he can take better care of himself, which I don't feel he has been. So he can be honest about his true desires is what I'm feeling. So, and below that, we do get the life purpose. And so this is what the twins came here to do, to live a purpose, to live our life purpose. And the purpose of our life is to live a life of service, to live our life in a way that brings not only great joy to ourselves and our loved ones, but to everybody in the collective. And so we don't go finding our purpose, though. Our purpose finds us. So when we focus on service, our purpose will end up serving us in return. And so there's going to be some type of tower, I feel, and it's going to, you know, not feel good, but it is going to be like a blessing in disguise. And so whatever appears to be a problem or a shakeup or a shit show, it's actually prayers being answered is what I feel for the masculine. He's prayed to get out of this situation. He's not been able to find his strength and his voice to get out. And so the universe has to come in and present a very painful tower moment so the masculine can see the reason behind the lack of communication and then seek resolution. And so we are protected as we go through this journey, as we attain this infinite wisdom is what I'm feeling, because we're here to embark upon these new creative endeavors together. Entrepreneur, creative expression. That is what truly makes us feel alive. When we are ignited in something that we are passionate about in our lives, then that's not really work, is it? So that's what I got for the twins. I can't believe we're 50 minutes. I could just talk forever. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, guys, check out the description box below. I'd love to get that booked in for you. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.